If you've watched anything on my channels, you would know that I love pistols, and one of my favorites is, of course, the Nerf Jolt. It's tiny, it's powerful, and it's pretty cheap, and when this thing came out, I think it was actually probably the strongest Nerf blaster there was, because when it came out, there were things like the Deploy and the Long Strike, which were cool, but this thing was more powerful. And it really blew me away, because I had like a Recon, I had Mavericks, I had a Night Finder, and yet this was more powerful. And for good reason, because it's a direct plunger, and it's very, very efficient in what it does. And, well, the Jolt is awesome, but competitively, it's hit or miss. I mean, it's a little tiny single-shot pistol. It gets okay ranges. It's good as a last-ditch effort, but really, if you wanted to use it competitively, it's really not that good. You get outranged by everything else, outgunned by pretty much anything else. So, how would you make one of these blasters good for anything? And the answer that Foam Blast, Michelle, and Adriana came up with is to shove freaking flywheels on the front of it. It's a Jolt, I swear, but it's a Jolt with flywheels in the front of it. And yes, it does work. Exactly how you would expect. You will prime the Jolt, you will take one of your knockoff AccuStrike darts, and you will shove it in there, ramrod it with your pinky, and then you will hold down the rev trigger. Yes, this is happening. And you get over 100 FPS. This thing is done. Now, it's only hitting so freaking hard because it kind of works like an afterburner. It's already having some momentum when it hits the flywheels, and then it just gets flung even farther. But it could probably still do better. These are stock Strife flywheel cage, stock Strife flywheels, stock Strife motors. Nothing crazy. And yet it's powered by a 3S LiPo, because why the heck not? I'm really surprised that this switch and everything is able to hold up to that, because from everything I know, it shouldn't. And yes, it's even got a voltage alarm / voltmeter on it. What? I don't even know what to... It's a flywheel-powered Jolt. How do I make a better video than whatever else there... I mean, they already did a video, and they sent it to me, and then I'm supposed to do a video on it, and I don't even know what to say, because the thumbnail pretty much says everything. It's a flywheel Jolt. I will shoot it again because it's what needs to be done, and it's really darn good. Seriously, this thing rockets out with a vengeance, and hilariously enough, this is a really, really simple mod that pretty much anybody can do, which puzzles me further why it hasn't been done, and obviously this design can be improved on. Apparently, when they decide to come visit me soon, they are going to help me build a better one, and there are some changes that could be made. But yes, there is literally just Velcro holding the battery on here. The actual voltmeter is not held on by anything other than Scotch tape, and the switch is just epoxy to the side. The flywheel cage is just DevCon welded to the front of the original Jolt plunger exit thing, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's like, what, 8 solder points connecting this entire thing together? Anybody could build this. Even if you're like a complete novice at soldering and working on stuff, anybody could build this thing. Even the battery platform is just a spare Strife battery door. But it's awesome. Seriously. And the funniest part is, it's really powerful and really accurate. It's nothing crazy, but it does work. I gotta check because I keep forgetting to prime it. It's the closest thing I think I can get to using something like the Ioka pistol from Rust without all the banging a rock against the end and having it magically fire off whenever it feels like it. This is, well, still kind of the same reload. You gotta pull this down and take a dart and shove it in there and get it down in there and then rev it up and then fire, which makes it not exactly all that good for, like, actual use. But the funniest part on it is that, like, while the design is not optimized for it, this is a tiny blaster. Very, very small. If you were to flip the flywheels to the side, make them vertical, I'm not sure why they did this, but I'm sure there was a good reason for it, and then maybe even have it so they're on a hinge or something like that, or maybe even magnetically fastened, so you could pop them off and put a dart in, pop them back on, and then fire it. I mean, I don't even think the placement of the rev switch is that bad, because it's actually really comfortable. And yes, you would probably be able to epoxy it actually in between. Right here, it's certainly capable of doing something like that. Again, I'm sure there's a reason why it wasn't done, but for the probably 15 minutes of work they put into this thing, and how hilariously awesome it is, and I'm sure many of you out there are going to go out and build your own, you should. And if you don't know, like, well, flywheels are scary, blah, 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 but you have a strife flywheel cage or a barricade or something laying around, this is totally doable. And you should do it, because not only is it hilariously awesome, but the performance is pretty darn good if you have it powered by a 3S LiPo. It could technically be powered by anything. I mean, you can throw a 9-volt on here. It's gonna be better than the stock performance, that's for sure, as long as you let it rev up all the way. And that never gets boring to me. Seriously, make your own Jolt Strife. Strolf? I don't even know what they call this thing, but this was, again, I didn't even make this. This is done by Foam Blast, but they sent it to me, and I'm going to do a video on it because it's awesome, and everybody should see this, and everybody should be building one, and I really hope to go to the next war and be dual-wielding these things and be popping darts into them and hitting people at crazy, stupid ranges with just a Jolt. I mean, I'm using, like, the knockoff AccuStrike darts, and they are ridiculously accurate. I'm very impressed with how this thing runs. And again, you all should build one. Let me know what you think about the Strife Jolt down in the comment section below. If you know of a flywheel blaster that's completely mechanically done, that's smaller than this, I'd love to see it, because I don't think they get smaller than this, but maybe there is a thing. There are probably things slightly bigger that work better, but I think this is the smallest flywheel blaster you could possibly have at this point. And if you have any ideas on how to improve the design, I'd love to hear them, because again, I'm going to be building my own, and I guess they're going to help me, so that's going to make things even better. I'm going to be really paying attention to the comments on this one to see what you guys come up with, because some of you have really good ideas, and, well, I want to use them. So if I do use your idea, I will, of course, give you a shout-out. My cat's walking around, and she's like, oh my god, what was that? Okay, I'm going to babble on forever about this thing, but yeah, Strife Jolt, build one. I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much to Foam Blast for sending this thing out to me. Thank you very much to you for watching this video, and of course I hope to see you in an entirely different one. I don't want to send it back.